Hi, I'm Adriana, and welcome to KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen. On tonight's broadcast, meet the very first Happen student from 1999, as Happen gets ready to celebrate their 23rd year of bringing communities together through art. Plus, Larkin delivers a second part to the KMNH special report on teens who are fighting against COVID-19. And Evelynn gives you the top 3 most common New Year's resolutions and what your chances are to keeping those promises you made all year long. So it's time to stop, watch, and share KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.
Welcome to KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.
Happen will turn 23 years old on March 11th, and what started as a 3-year art project by Happen founder and director Tommy Roof has now grown into over 2 decades of programming and activities for kids, families, and communities. And on New Year's Day, the very first person to attend a Happen session back in 1999 came back to Happen right here in the KMNH studio.
I remember doing ceramics and I made a cup that looked like a pencil.
Her name is Chloe Watkins, and her mother Jane signed them both up for Happen's first 6-week Saturday session over 22 years ago. Chloe flew in from LA for the holidays, and we were thrilled that she stopped by the KMNH studio to reflect on what she remembers from Happen at age 6, and how she thinks about Happen looking back now. Happen sessions always started off with a cheer. The kids would yell, "You can make it happen," and the parents would cheer back, "Just make it through college." And that's exactly what Chloe did.
I went to UC and I was in the DAP fashion design program. And from there, I moved to Los Angeles, where I live now, and I work for a small fashion brand, and I work in production.
Chloe learned about art, but also learned some life lessons along the way.
I would say today in my own life, I try my best to always be myself. I always want to express myself as much as I can with my clothing and the projects that I make. And definitely through Happen, I learned from a really young age that it's super important to just be yourself.
She also gave some advice to anyone who wants to study the arts and why the arts are so special to her.
I loved studying the arts because you have so much creative freedom and you get to explore the artist that's inside of you.
Chloe also reminded all of us why Happen is so special.
I would say no matter what I do in my life, I always think about how unique the experience was to go through Happen and to work with Tommy, and I've never quite had an experience that was so unique and creative as that.
We want to thank Chloe for coming back to Happen and telling her story. If you have a special story about your experience at Happen, please leave a comment down below. And who knows, you might be asked onto KMNH to help celebrate Happen's 23rd birthday. And we're asking everyone to please donate to Happen's programs and activities. It's easy. Just go to happeninc.org and click on the donate button to wish Happen a happy birthday and help Happen continue to entertain, educate, and empower through art.
Hi, I'm Larkin, and welcome back to my second broadcast of a 2-part series on how teens are fighting the spread of COVID-19. As we film this episode of KMNH, the daily new cases of COVID-19 in Hamilton County have reached over 2,000 cases. We firstly want to thank all the doctors, nurses, and other hospital staff, plus the EMTs and firefighters that are working long and stressful hours to try and keep our community healthy during this crisis. We also want to continue to share the good things that teens are doing to help in the fight against COVID-19. Aiken High School students have been helping to educate and encourage students to get their families vaccinated. For several months now, kids my age have become leaders in their community to make sure that people stay safe and get vaccinated. It's all part of a program designed by Steve Sutherland, the director of the Cancer Justice Network, who reached out to partner with Aiken High School and the University of Cincinnati organization called Refuge to work with teens.
I'm the executive director of Refuge, as well as an educator at Aiken High School. And it was super great to be able to have this opportunity to work with Steve and the Cancer Justice Network and partner with him with Refuge as well as Aiken and create this idea of health champions. And basically what we're trying to do here is that it's all about accessibility. We're trying to give health information to communities that don't have access to that information. And we're trying to do it in a way that it's culturally competent and readily available to those people. And we're often working with communities who are overlooked and those that, there's so many nuances that go into health promotion as it is, and then you add on it that layer of being new to the States or, being a refugee or being an immigrant, and that, exacerbates the whole idea.
The Teen Health Champions made posters, videos, and also did tabling where students took turns answering other students' questions and concerns about the vaccine.
One of the most memorable moments would have to be us tabling for the health clinic. So our health champions basically created these posters, and they worked on them for weeks, as Manu said earlier. And amongst all the other great things that they were doing, the videos and the posters, they really put in kind of how they wanted this information to get across to people and get across to the students, their peers. And that was very important. And they did it in such a competent and empathetic way. And even them standing there and tabling and every day in and out kind of throughout the whole entire school day, switching in and out of which students are going to talk to people, they got to talk to their own peers and kind of answer really rough questions and answer them in a way that was so compassionate, and it showed sympathy. It was empathetic, but also showed a lot of bravery in order to kind of be able to speak with students who are your own age and tackle on these huge questions. That takes a lot, and so I'm inspired by them and getting to see them do that.
I had a chance to talk with some of the teens and find out why they've stepped up to help others during this pandemic. These teens have become leaders and educators and are on a mission to get people vaccinated.
In our Health Champions team, many speak different languages. We have different cultures mixed, and that has really been a great experience to actually help out those families using what I knew, my language. I could help those families actually understand what the vaccine is.
The work we have done as a health champion is that I was giving this opportunity to talk with the student about getting their COVID-19 shot through a health champion. And also we made a poster in a different language which student can inspire and motivate to get a COVID-19 vaccine. And also we made a video about what is COVID-19 and what is vaccine is.
I say you should get your vaccine because it's good for you and your loved ones to be safe.
So at the health clinic, I was making students being comfortable taking the vaccine, don't feel nervous, and treat them very well.
We here at KMNH want to thank the Cancer Justice Network, Refuge UC, and the Teen Health Ambassadors from Aiken High School for all of their efforts to keep our community safe and healthy.
Today I have your top 3 New Year's resolutions and just how many people will actually stick to it. So you can probably guess what the top 3 resolutions are overall. Exercise, losing weight, and to get more organized in life, including financially. Do any of these resolutions sound familiar? MonroeClinic.org says that only about 8% of people actually achieve their goals. Yet year after year, a huge number of people just can't help to make resolutions. But why can't they keep them all year long? Lifehack.com reported that you should start slow and that bad habits can't be changed quickly or swept under the rug. If you made any resolutions this year, treat your goals as a marathon and not as a sprint, where you might find yourself out of the race for another year. I'm Evelynn, and remember, the turtle won at the end.
Thank you for watching tonight's KMNH, and please share this episode with your friends and family on social media. And please don't forget to donate to Happen's birthday campaign at happeninc.org. It really is people like you, our viewers, who keep Happen going. So tune in next week for another episode of KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.